Okay, Red State. So this movie, I believe it popped up on one or two top 10 horror movies lists of 2010, I think. I can't remember, I think it did, I'm not 100% sure on that. But so I was like interested in it after that. And also Quentin Tarantino said he loved the movie as well, so I was kind of like, okay, let's check this movie out. And so I went into this movie knowing nothing about the plot, and that's always fun when you don't know what direction the movie's going in. And so the story is basically it's about a bunch of religious nutjobs, like religious extremists. We're talking people who are like a group of Christians, they're psychos, and they're just like killing the sinners, basically. That's basically the story of the movie. Like, these three people get kidnapped by the Christians, and the Christians are gonna like kill them. And yeah, that's basically the movie. The first half of the movie is kind of like a slasher movie. Yeah, it's kind of like a horror film. It's like a slasher movie, the first half of the movie. Then the second half of the movie, it turns into like an action, kind of like an action thriller, I guess. That's the second half of the movie. Yeah, so I really liked the movie. It was great. Like, after watching a few mediocre movies like Pet Sematary, well, Pet Sematary was good. I mean, after watching a few good movies like Mission Impossible 4 and Pet Sematary, all of a sudden I got around to watching a really awesome movie. I was like really pleased with it then. I really liked it. Okay, so where do I begin with this? Okay, so the first half. Like I said, the first half is kind of like a slasher film. It's like it's more of a horror film, while the second half suddenly jumps into like an action thriller kind of thing. The first half of the movie is actually really suspenseful. Like, don't get me wrong, the second half was suspenseful too, but the first half of the movie was really intense. I mean, you have a few chase scenes, really well done chase scenes here. Like, the shaky camera is used in these chase scenes. But it's used well. Like, most of the time I really hate shaky cam, but it was used well in these chase scenes. It's like, okay, so like the situation the characters were in the first half of the movie, it is like a genuine situation where you genuinely are thinking, how the hell are they going to get out of this? Like, when they are in this situation, you are genuinely thinking, how the hell are they going to get out of this? And you have no idea what the hell's going to happen next, or how they're going to get away and stuff. And there's a few chase scenes which are actually really impressive. Like, with the shit, like a character, I'm not going to give spoilers, but a character's running away, let's say that, and he's running in a closed environment, like in a building, and he's like running around the place, and obviously he hasn't been in this building before, so he has no idea, like, you know, where's the exit or where these doors lead to. So he's like desperately really panicking, like you kind of felt like the panic the character was feeling. Like, the shaky camera showed it from like, we got to see his perspective like once or twice with the shaky camera, and then we just see like a third person view with the shaky camera as well of him running around. Like, the shaky camera kind of helped you feel like you were there. Like, it did genuinely feel immersive. The chase scenes did, like, you did genuinely kind of feel as if you were there. Like you did feel like the panic and the adrenaline that the character was feeling. Like, the film did a really good job there. Like, the directing and editing was, I thought it was fantastic. Like, the chase scenes were really good. Like, the guy, like I said, he's running around the place desperately trying to find a way out. He hasn't been in this building before. These people are chasing him, and like, he, like, you know, he'll run through a door. Oh no, the door's locked. We'll go to another door. He'll throw the door open, run down a hallway, turn a corner into a room. It's a dead end. He desperately runs back down the hallway for the doorway before the people go to reach him to cut him off at the hallway. You know, it's just done really well. How you know, it's just really fast paced. The guy's running everywhere, really panicking. Like, he's a great actor as well. The acting's really great on that scene, and it's just, like, when he gets cornered into a dead end, they're coming at him, he has to, you know, he's desperately trying to find a place to hide. He's running into dead ends, desperately trying to run back in time, and it's just, it lasts for like 2 or 3 minutes, but it is really intense, and it's just the acting, directing, editing, shaky camera, everything just works so well. It is done really well, the chase scenes. It's just some really great chase scenes. It's got to be one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen. I'm not sure. I guess that's like a strong statement. Like, I think it's up there with one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen. Like, it's up there with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. That chase scene, you know, it is up there with one of my favourite chase scenes. It's done really well, the chase scenes. And also the resolution to the chase scenes. This movie is really unpredictable. You have no idea what the hell's going to happen next. The way they resolve these chase scenes is so... it's just so unexpected. You will not know that. This movie is really unpredictable. You have so many, like, you have no idea what direction this movie is going in. Just... you have no idea who's gonna die next. The order everyone dies is shocking. It was a genuine, like, when certain characters die, it is to me it was a genuine oh my god moment. Like, it was a genuine, like, you know, eye-popping moment where I genuinely did not see that coming. Those sort of moments are really awesome, you know. Yeah, like, I love being surprised like that. I mean, when's the last time a movie surprised me like that? It's been a while since a movie surprised me like that, but you know, I kind of miss being surprised, like not seeing something like that happen. Like, this movie has balls. It's really wild. The directions it goes in is just so shocking. You're not expecting, like, basically when you go into this movie, anything can happen at any time. You will not, like, I really had no idea what the hell was going to happen. It has so many suspenseful scenes as well. Like I said, the tagline of the movie is pretty much you won't know what the hell's going to happen. It should be something like that. Every single it's just really awesome movie. Like, there's so many scenes, so many suspenseful scenes. Like, there's a lot of scenes I would just like to describe them just because of how awesome they are. It's just, this movie has some great scenes. When I went online, I was really shocked to find not everyone likes this movie. I was kind of like, when the movie was finished, I was like, well done. I really liked it. Like, it's not one of my, I don't know, it's not one of my favourite movies of all time, but it is a damn good movie. It's really, really good. I really liked it. It is a damn good movie. Like, I was really shocked when I went online. Like, not everybody likes it. Like, I was kind of like, okay, like, this is going to be the sort of thing, like, 80% of the people love it. And it's more of like a 60-40 kind of thing. Like, 60% of the people like it, 40% hate it. I was kind of surprised. I was like, really? I was expecting the movie to get a bit more praise than this. I really, you know, I dug it. I just really liked the movie. Like, when the movie was over, I was just like, bravo. So yeah, it's just so many scenes are so suspenseful. You don't know what the hell's going to happen next. The acting's great, so the suspense is great. It's just, this movie is really unpredictable. So you're on the edge of your seat all the time, not knowing what the hell's going to happen next. And the finale, the climax of the movie, it's unbelievably tense, but the resolution is very, very anticlimactic. So that is one bad thing about the movie. That's really disappointing. But, you know, I was okay. But it didn't ruin the movie or anything. It was kind of anticlimactic though. Okay, so... yeah, okay, so the acting was great, like I said. Everyone does a great job. Like, when the characters are like crying and screaming and stuff, and when they're being chased, you know, their expressions, the tone of voice and stuff, I thought it was great. Like, you believe that these people are being hunted down. Like, I thought the acting was great. And also, it was kind of scary. Like, this is how you do human killers. I felt as if it was kind of like scary as well. Not like scary as in terrifying, I'm having nightmares, but it was kind of like a disturbing kind of thing. Like, how, like, I did genuinely feel uneasy when I was watching it. Like the church scene where the guy's in this cage, and I guess it's just like, you know, being in a situation where everything is out of your hands, where you don't have control, that sort of stuff is scary. I mean, like, films do this all the time. Like, when you're being chased down by a killer, not much is in your control. You're pretty much, you know, you don't have much control over your situation. The only thing you can do is, like, run, really, when you're being hunted down by someone more powerful than you. Like, movies do this all the time, where people are in situations which are out of your control. And situations, if you were in a situation that is out of your control, it would be scary. Like, being in a situation that is out of your control is scary. And, like, movies do this all the time, but I really, really, really ever actually feel kind of, like, worried for the characters, or like I really feel kind of immersed enough to kind of feel the fear the characters are feeling. But in this movie, like, I was like really, I guess I was really immersed in the movie, so I did kind of feel like the fear and the panic the characters were feeling in these situations. Like, I did feel uneasy, a bit uneasy and kind of disturbed when the guy's in the cage, and then you have like a bunch of you know, the Christians doing this rant about killing them and stuff. That scene was kind of like, it was just done well, and it was kind of like, I guess it's just because I was so immersed into the film. It just, I was kind of sitting there like, this is kind of scary, this situation. Like I said, not kind of like nightmare scary or, you know, terrifying, but like scary in a sense where you're kind of like, you know, I would hate to be in that situation, that kind of thing. Okay, yep. Okay, so Michael Parks, like the I don't know if he's been in a movie before. This is the first movie I've seen him in, but Michael Parks, I found out he's the name of the actor who plays the leader. Like the Christians, they kind of have like a leader. Like a leader of the Christians. He's kind of like the leader of the Christians. He has like the most influence over them. He's the ringleader. He's like we kill this guy. Like if he says like we're killing this guy, they'll all do it. Or if he's like we're all committing suicide right now, literally everyone will do it. Like he's like the leader of the Christians. It's crazy, and he's just really charismatic. Like for a big role like this, you need some charismatic actor, and he works really well. He's really awesome. He's just fun to watch. There's one scene which some people might love, some people might hate. Some people might find okay, whatever. But when the horror starts, like when the characters are kidnapped and wake up in the church and the guy's in the cage, I'm not even exaggerating, there's 5 minutes of dialogue. Basically the guy's in the cage, like they're in the church, like the guy's in the cage on a podium. We have Michael Parks, the ringleader of the Christians, kind of standing there. He's giving this like lecture, this speech, and then you have like the Christians sitting down on the benches, listening to his lecture, his lesson on how God is the Almighty, how gays are evil, that sort of stuff. He just does this, I'm not even exaggerating, a 5-minute rant, and that's all there is, him talking for 5 minutes. That's literally like a 5-minute sequence of him talking. Like what he says doesn't really contribute much to the story. It doesn't really develop the character any more than a 2-minute speech would have done. Like they could have kept it to a 60 or 2-minute speech, and you would have got the same impression of the character. Like the 5-minute speech is just there for the sake of being 5 minutes. Like it could have been 1 or 2 minutes, and the character would have been developed as much as it would have from a 5-minute speech. Because you get the same, you would have got the same impression from the first 2 minutes of the speech than you would have from a full 5 minutes. So like personally, I didn't mind the situation because, like I said, I was really immersed into this film at this point. I was really into it, and I was really like, oh, okay, what's going to happen next, kind of thing. But I can't see like a general audience getting bored by this scene. Like the scene was fine, I liked it. But I can't see a lot of people getting really like agitated or bored doing this scene, or like trailing off, like, oh Jesus Christ, just shut up, you know. Like it goes on for like 5 minutes of him just speaking, and yeah, so just him speaking for 5 minutes, and what he's saying isn't really important. You're basically getting the idea from what he is saying. When you're listening to him saying this stuff for 5 minutes, you're just learning that he's a psycho, and Christians hate gays. That's basically all you're getting from the speech. And you know, you would have got that from 2 minutes as opposed to 5 minutes, but it's 5 minutes anyway. So like I said, a lot of people will get bored by that scene. But personally, I liked it. It was fine. But like I said, I was really, really into this film at this point. Okay, so the chase, yeah, the Christians, they are good villains. Like I really, really hated them. Like I wanted to see them die so badly. Like you know, it was to the point where I wanted to reach for the TV screen and just strangle them all. Like this is the thing, but like when Michael Parks is kind of doing the speech about how gays are evil, and we're gonna kill these people we kidnapped because they're gay, or at least they think they're gay, or at least they're teenagers, and you know they're having sex with a bunch of people, so we gotta kill them for that reason. And when he's delivering this speech, like, and when they are killing people, like Michael Parks, when he's killing people, it's just like, you see like the women and the children which are sitting there in the crowd, they're like smiling like, yeah, like, you know, they're kind of doing that sort of thing, like, yeah, he's right, kill them, they deserve to die, that sort of thing. They just seem really pompous and douchey, and I just wanted them to die so much. Like, oh god, I really wanted to see them die when they did that. They were all just going, yeah, that's right, he's right, they deserve to die. They're all going like that, like the kids and the women. And the really pompous looks on their faces, I just wanted to like throw my fist through the TV screen. So the movie did a good job of making you hate the villains. Michael Parks, I loved him, he was just really charismatic. But you have like that really old bitchy woman who was just like, yeah, kill him, that sort of thing. I was just like, you know, I was just getting really frustrated watching it. But I guess as the movie was trying to be that. I mean, you're supposed to hate the villains, so the movie did good there. But Michael Parkerson, I liked him. Like everyone else in the crowd, I despised, I hated them. But Michael Parks as the ringleader was great. He was fun to watch. He was like likable he was just lovable because of how crazy he was. In the same way the Joker and Dr. Hyder were. He was just fun. He was just really fun to watch. And yeah, that's pretty much all. One last thing before that's pretty much all I have to say. The ending, like I said, it's anticlimactic. There's this really huge, climatic, really suspenseful movie where you're like, you know, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen next. You like this thing is happening. You're like, what's gonna happen next? You're on the edge. You're on the edge of your seat, and it's just so anticlimactic how they resolve it. I was kind of pissed off. It's really disappointing how they resolve such an amazing climatic, you know, scene. Like they've done all this stuff throughout the film, built it up to this one really suspenseful scene where you don't know what the hell's going to happen next, and then bang, the way they resolve it is kind of frustrating because after watching this film, like the ending didn't bother me too much. I was kind of like, oh, that was disappointing, really anticlimactic, but at the same time I'm fine with what happened in the ending. But then I learned what the original ending was, what the alternative ending was, and I was when I went online and found out what the original ending was, it made me dislike the ending a hell of a lot more because the original ending, I'll describe it in a minute, but it's awesome. The original ending, like if the original ending is what this film had used, I might have put this film as one of my favourite movies of all time. But they didn't do it, and I was just left gutted, like, why didn't you use that? That's such an awesome idea. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't have done that. I just wasn't happy when I found out what the original ending was, and I'm going to describe it in a minute. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had to say about the movie. Great movie, watch it. I was baffled when I found out not everyone likes it. I thought this was like an almost universally loved movie, but then it's like some people didn't like it. I was like, really? It's really suspenseful, great villains. Michael Parker's amazing. He's just lovable in the same sense that the Joker and Dr. Hyder are. This is really suspenseful. It's so unpredictable. You don't know what the hell's going to happen next. The acting's great. You feel like the chase scenes are just so well done, and you never know what the hell's going to happen next. Just beware of the very anticlimactic ending. And that's everything I have to say. So spoilers now. So thanks for watching. Goodbye if you don't want spoilers. Now here we go with spoilers. When I say the unpredictable moments, oh my god. Like I'm just going to describe two chase scenes because they're just so awesome. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen the movie, as I always do, I'm just going to describe this. So a guy, he and his friend are kind of tied up in this basement thing, and this one guy manages to get free, but he can't untie the other guy in time, and then the Christians are coming because they realise he's gone free. So he leaves his friend behind in the basement and runs off, and he's running it, and then he runs into this room filled with guns. He finds a room filled with guns, and I was just like, okay, I guess this is going to be some sort of revenge movie where he's going to kill the rest of the Christians or something. And he grabs a gun, and a Christian confronts him. Like the Christian kicks open the door and shoots the guy, and the guy shoots him. So they both shoot each other at the same time and kill each other at the same time. That was like, oh, I was not expecting that. And there's this one really intense scene. This was one part of the film which kind of bothered me. This guy has a gun. The Christians do not know he's free. They think he's dead, but this guy turns out he's still alive and he has a gun. So all of the Christians are kind of sitting in this room, like the main part of the church, on the benches. He's sitting there with a gun. The Christians don't know he's there. He's by the doorway. And we're not talking, like, he's sitting there, aiming the gun at them. He's like, okay, I'm like, okay, he's going to spray them all and just kill them all now. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Then you know what he does? He doesn't shoot them all. He gets up and runs. He runs through the room, through a back door, and then runs. Then he's trying to get through the building, and throughout the whole. Then he's being chased by the Christians because like when he runs through the room, obviously everyone sees him, so they all run through the door after him. But like throughout the whole entire this chase scene is very well done. I'll say that it's extremely suspenseful. Don't know what the hell's going to happen next. The camera work, directing, editing, acting, everything. You know, all that's great. It's perfect. But the character has a gun. He could have turned around and shot them all. Like there was like 20 or 30 Christians or whatever, but he could have just turned around and shot them all. Like none of them are armed, none of them have guns or anything. So it's just like just turn around and shoot them all. And we're not talking about like a shotgun or a pistol here. He has a I don't know, like a big auto. Like a rifle, like a machine gun kind of thing. It's not like a little Uzi either. It's like this huge like rifle, like machine gun. It's like you could easily take these people down with one clip. I was just kind of like, why is he running? I do understand. I guess it's because his friend was like kind of tied up on the stage, and like the Christians were preparing to kill him, and this guy kind of the woman kind of goes up to him, and she's standing near him, so I guess he didn't shoot her just in case he accidentally shot his friend, but he could have easily shot everyone else in the crowd, you know. Like that scene just didn't make much sense to me. But even with that, the chase scene which followed was, I didn't mind, because the chase scene that followed was fantastic, and the way this chase scene is resolved is one of those really unpredictable moments where I was just like, bravo. And the way this chase scene ends, he after much running into dead ends and like, you know, trying all these locked doors, running into dead ends, turning all these corner stairs and doorways and everything, there's all this crazy stuff. How it's resolved is great. He manages to get outside. He's running. The Christians don't follow him. He's running outside, running across like the front garden or the front lawn, whatever you want to call it. He's running for the gates to get out, and then next thing you know, bang, he gets shot. He's dead. And then all of a sudden we pull back to reveal what is outside the church on the other side of the fence. A SWAT team. A whole entire police force is there just like waiting, because they got like a call or something earlier on, like they're aware that something's going on in the church, so like they have like a million guys outside with a gun. So obviously seeing this guy, this kid running outside with this massive machine gun, they react and just shoot him dead. So they kill the wrong person basically, and it's just that moment I was just like, wow, I did not see that coming. And another really awesome moment, which is probably the most shocking part of the film. The main character and this girl dies. Basically, I can't be bothered to explain that, because unless you've seen the film, obviously you don't understand how important the main character is or who the girl is. I can't be bothered to explain the importance of the girl. But basically these two, the main character dies, and all of the main characters die. They get gunned down with a SWAT team, and it's just so insane. Okay, but basically I want to describe the ending now. I got to move on to the original ending, which would have been amazing. Okay, so this is how the movie climax. So all of the good guys are dead, like the 3 kids that were kidnapped. They get killed off by the Christians or the police force on accident. Basically the police force are outside. They're about to like bust into this church, but then all of a sudden there's these horns blaring. You can hear these horns blaring constantly. It's just like sirens going off, and all of the Christians, they're like, okay, everyone, like Michael Parker, he's like, everyone put down your guns, we are going outside. They all drop their guns, they are unarmed, they walk outside, and they confront the police force. And the police force are like, you know, they got the guns on them, they're like, freeze. And like, they're all unarmed, so they all just like, yes, here we are and stuff. Like, the sirens are constantly going off with the whole entire climax of the movie. And they think it's the rapture. The Christians are like, it's the rapture. And yeah, there you go, it's the rapture. It's like, the end of the world is nigh, we're all gonna die. The world is about to end, the devil, and, you know, I don't know, wherever the rapture is, I guess the world ends. Everyone goes to heaven, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, so, wow, it's just it's a really climatic scene. So, you know, the sirens are going off, he's like, it's the rapture. And the police force, like, Michael Parker is confronting, like, the main police officer, like the leader of like the squad or whatever. He's like walking towards him, And he's like, you know, he's like, stand back, stop coming closer. And he's like, go ahead, just shoot me. It'll make my reward all the more sweeter in heaven when we all go up there. And he's getting closer and closer and closer to the police officer. And the police officer's got his gun on him. And like he's walking like closer and closer and closer. And he's like, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. And he constantly repeats that over and over and over again, getting closer and closer and closer. It's just really a climactic scene. It's just... And like the sirens are going off constantly as well for the rapture as well. So at this, like, it gets to the point where he is literally standing face to face. Like literally, it's like their nose are touching, and like you know, you're just sitting there like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Like, what the hell's going to happen? Like, are the sirens, like, is this some sort of trick from the Christians? Is it actually the rapture? What the hell's going on? And it's just the reason it's really anticlimactic is because what is happening is really climactic. It's really suspenseful. Then all of a sudden we just cut from the scene. The scene isn't finished. We cut to a courtroom where the police officer is being interviewed by these two like FBI agents or something. Like the FBI agents they're trying to get the story. They want to know what happened at the church. So he explains, basically the cop explains to the FBI agents what happened, and through the dialogue they explain what happened for the rest of the scene. And that's why it's really anticlimactic. I mean, you have this really incredibly suspenseful scene, and then all of a sudden, like, you don't know what the hell's going to happen next, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to a courtroom, a boring environment where they explain what happened in the rest of the scene through dialogue. And it turns out the sirens, it wasn't the rapture, it was just some kids messing around. Some kids like hooked like their iPod up to some speakers and some horns or some crap like that, I can't remember, but basically it was just some kids messing around with the iPods and speakers. So it wasn't actually the rapture, and there we go. So it was just a really anticlimactic way to end the scene. And the police officer explains that it was just some kids messing around with their iPod. That was the explanation for the sirens. And he explains that he headbutted Michael Parker, and they arrested everyone. And the movie ends with Michael Parker in prison with his Christian friends, and that's it. That's literally how the movie ends. Now, how the movie ended was fine, and like I was kind of like, damn, that's pretty disappointing. That's really anticlimactic. You know, I was kind of like, oh, okay, but I still liked the movie, and even the way it ended, I was fine with it, even though it was kind of disappointing. But then I found out what the original ending for this movie was, the alternative ending, and then I was like, why didn't you go for it? Why didn't you pick the alternative ending? Like, they didn't even film it. They thought of the idea for it, so why didn't they go with it? It's such an awesome idea. So this is how the original ending would have gone out. Basically, so the sirens are going off, he's face to face, Michael Parker and the officer face to face, and then, basically, how did it happen? Oh yeah, everybody's chests explode. That's what happened. So, like the director explained this in an interview. Basically, all of the characters' chests, the Christians and the police force, their chests would explode, like literally just go poof. Everyone would just pop open, dead. Everyone would drop to the floor dead. And what would happen? Oh no, like I think just some of them would. I think only some of the chests would pop open. Basically, the chests would explode, and the movie would end with the main police officer lying on the floor. He's like bleeding, you know, he's about to like die and fizzle from reality because his chest has just exploded. And he would see a huge sword impale Michael Parker, I think. I'm not sure if it's Michael Parker. He would see a huge sword impale someone. A massive blade would just impale someone. The person would drop down dead to reveal what is standing behind them. An angel. And it would turn out an angel standing behind them with a sword. So, and the movie would end. So it would turn out it is actually the rapture, and the movie would end with like the world ending basically. And that would have been the original ending basically. That's it. That's the original ending, and I just think that would have been really cool. Like the guy, I guess they wanted to go for a more realistic, keep it realistic I guess, but screw you. I would have preferred that really insane, what the hell kind of ending. Like that ending would have been, you know, it's the kind of thing where you'd be like, did that just happen? That sort of thing. that ending would have been awesome. I would have loved to see that. And my love for the movie was diminished when I found out about the original ending, because now every time I watch this movie, I'm just going to be thinking about what could have been. I'm just going to be thinking, you know, why didn't you just pick that ending? Why didn't you at least film it and put it as a special feature on the DVD? Maybe it was for budget reasons. I would buy that. I mean, I would imagine everyone's chests exploding would be a difficult effect to pull off. I don't know, maybe it's for budget reasons, or maybe, and they're going to make up an excuse they wanted it to be realistic or whatnot, I don't know, whatever. But even then, realistic, I don't care about realism, that ending would have been amazing. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the ending, so that's pretty much what I have to say, so thanks for watching, see ya.